the game because he was playing into, I believe, Black Hole, Medusa, and there was one more BKB piercing ability. So it was a very tough game for Sven. Could be also, to just scare Alliance so they don't go for Sven.
And it also kind of stops out heroes like PA as well. She can suffer to the Stone Gaze too. What kind of response would you like from Alliance? Because you mentioned the Shadow Demon against Omni Knight, the fact that they like the DP, the Timbersaw, these heroes that can take control of a lane and a game, but don't really match that timing hit of Medusa at like 25 minutes where she's unkillable and dealing a lot of damage.
I just want to see what the first pick is going to be, because it still might be Draw Ranger. Okay, I love that response. Enchantress against the Vengeful Spirit. So you kill Vengeful Spirit and you take over the Vengeful Spirit illusion with the enchant, and then you get all the bonuses. Not sure why that's a thing, but that's how it works, and Alliance just straight up picks it up. Usually it's Miracle who plays the Shadow Fiend, but the last 2 games it was actually we who played it.
It was, yeah, up against Viking. We saw them do this in games 2 and 3. Game 2 was that game with a Medusa, with Venge, Shadow Fiend, Medusa. We went like 0-8 in laning stage, but the backup plan of Miracle was always there. So I'm kind of expecting Alliance here to be banning out the Drow, the Medusa, and maybe the Terrorblade as well, because that was the game 3 special that Nigma pulled out of the hat to go along with Avenge as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that actually works. If Shadow Fiend is kind of your casualty of war, the one that plays for the team and dies a few times early game, what is that backup plan from Miracle?
They definitely need a backup plan. I would not be surprised if Alliance just straight up bans all 3 heroes, Medusa, Draw Ranger, and the TB that you mentioned.
Yeah. And then PA for Nico Baby has been one of his classics, real signature hero for him. So no big surprises there. And then banning out the Slardar, that Corrosive Haze, amplifying the damage of the PA's physical right clicks. Always a nice pairing to go along with her. Well, this is the time, Alliance. 3 bans to go.
Even though they have Vengeful Spirit, which implies they're going to be picking a ranged carry hero, they still ban out Slardar because it's a really sick combination. Phantom Assassin plus Slardar. You have this earlier Roche, like a couple of minutes before, then you can usually kill the Roche.
Yeah, true. We could also see a couple of pointed bans from Nigma towards the mid and that off lane as well. DP, Timbersaw, definitely ones that come to mind. There's also that Dragon Knight that S4 has been playing a hell of a lot of. But I think one of the key ones is Mars. That big teamfight ulti and the ability for S4 to start teamfights has been real spectacular for Alliance. And they had it a couple of times up against VP, I believe, as well.
If they want to pick Medusa, I think you ban out Mars because of his Bulwark ability. It works really well against Medusa. Even though there is swap on the other side, so you can easily save people out of the Mars arena. It still feels really good, and I feel right now S4 is really playing the hero well.
Oh, the snap ban. Maybe aimed at Limp in that mid lane. Also potentially covering the Phoenix pick if Nigma wanted to go down that avenue. A little surprised Alliance are taking this long on the bans, honestly. Just ban Medusa.
Sure, why not? It just sounds like a really good ban. They go with the Timbersaw, something that Phantom Assassin does not like to play into. Before this tournament started during the Epic League, I was on board that Timbersaw deals really well with the Enchantress and Phantom Assassin lane, but then I saw a couple of games where pure damage from Enchantress kind of messes up with the Timbersaw. You can have all the reactive armor you want, but the pure damage just destroys you.
It absolutely does. Final ban on the stage. I think DP is still a pretty good shout. I really like DP PA as a combo. Like Desolator PA with a minus armor, the ghosts, the pushing strength you get from her.
She's banned out.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm a dumbass. Leshrac instead going to be removed out.
I'm just kidding. You're a good guy, Gary.
Just a bit blind. Need new glasses. So they're going to leave one of them in there, TB or the Medusa, as that late game security, a safety net for Nigma. I'm wondering if they've got that plan. You know, we talked a lot at length in those games where Viking were quite passive, allowing Nigma to keep farming in the triangle, not playing actively enough to try and hunt down the hero that was farming very freely. So if they go for like an Earth Spirit or something, allow Hansken to have that initiation hero that can play with an S4 hero, go hunting potentially, add in a bit of magic damage from like a Zeus, you could see that early game burst of aggression from Alliance that could slow down Nigma enough.
I see this Leshrac ban, and I kind of feel that could possibly be that Terrorblade we were talking about. Alliance banned out the Medusa. It's just a really sick strategy that Nigma ran a couple of days ago.
It sure is. And Mars is also still out there. You know, we could see the Requiem with the Arena combo. Mind Control is no slouch on the Mars.
What about Mind Control Tide? You know, memes aside, it still feels like a good pick. You know the lane, so you know what you're going to be laning against. Phantom Assassin and the Enchantress. Tide Hunters should have a really good time. Alliance,
yeah, that's what they
digging deep into this reserve time.
Yeah, maybe toying with the idea of whether they want to pick up Hansken's hero now or if S4's calling to grab up his. And it's going to be that Earth Spirit. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it gives them especially a stun, you know, gets you that silence, big team fight presence. Because Enchantress, Phantom Assassin, it's just slows. It's damage and slows, but you need someone that goes in. Also a hero that Shadowfiend really doesn't like to play into because there's so much kill potential.
He's a very static hero in lane, kind of sluggish and slow. And we saw Viking do the same thing, you know, especially that 4-minute rune spawn. Earth Spirit and Enchantress both converging into mid, kind of tri-laning mid for a good minute or two, killing we off a fair amount of times in a short period. And if you've got an active mid with a lot of magic damage, the Zeus, the Puck, a lot of these limp heroes definitely come to mind that can win that lane against the Shadow Fiend with a bit of help.
So they're not revealing anything yet. Just the position for Tiny. I think they wanted to have hero that can move around and help out Shadow Fiend. Because you see this Earth Spirit, you know, like around 4-minute rune, 5th minute runes when they're spawning, Earth Spirit will be there. Like he will try to secure some runes for his mid laner. They go with Zeus. Okay, so Zeus can outrange Shadowfiend, doesn't care too much about his raises. You're never going to get close to actually...
You know the cost? When I'm right, I'm right.
Oh, did you say Zeus?
I said Earth Spirit Zeus, yeah, after the first phase.
You're on point, Garrett.
I think it's really good.
It's one of those days.
It's one of those days, mate. Yeah, I'm so excited and hyped up by the patch. My Dota brain has switched on all of a sudden. It's rare, but sometimes it happens. Should match up pretty well against that Shadow Fiend too, and yeah, offers you tons of kill threat and percentage-based damage against that late-game potential from Nigma.
Yeah, I think you're also covering yourself with the possible TB pick. So they go with a different route. Okay, I love it. It could have been a TB if they did not pick Zeus. Like, Zeus deals way too good against the illusion type of carries.
And then, you know, talking about covering, banning out that Viper, making sure that Spectre isn't going to get destroyed in the laning stage. Also the fact that Spectre works well against Zeus with that gap close from Haunt, getting the top of the Zeus. But how's the carry-carry matchup, Spectre against PA? Do you favor one or the other?
It's a lot of minus armor. Shadowfiend's aura, Vengeful Spirit aura, and these heroes are burstable. Like, you want to take out Zeus, you will have vision from the Haunt. There's still no real save for Zeus besides the kick, which isn't really that important at the mid and late game fights. They still ban out that Mars for Nigma. I want to see someone that builds a pipe potentially against the Earth Spirit Zeus. So I still feel like Tide can fit well. Underlord is also fine. Maybe a Centaur, run away from Earth Spirit. Also another gap closing ability against the Zeus.
Yeah, I like the Tide more, knowing that Zeus never buys BKB. You know that you're always going to catch a core with that Ravage. Even if PA buys one, you're not too bothered about it. And then you've got a good lane against the PA with Anchor Smash. Could still be that Beastmaster that you love saying is that last pick offers you so much with the vision, the lane control. Single target roar against the PA to try and blow her up.
And you don't want to get the Beastmaster into Enchantress. She just takes over the boar.
True.
And you have...
It's a very difficult lane.
Yeah, Bolt against that Hawk. So it doesn't feel that good of a pick. Oh, we forgot about Bloodseeker.
Yeah. Darkseer, though, for Nigma. We saw this in one of their games as well. It didn't look that good. Yeah, it was up against OG, where they had the Darkseer Spirit Breaker. MC had an alright time, it wasn't really the game for it. This time around, with that pipe carrier that you really wanted, the aura carrier in the Darkseer, it should be a pretty good match for MC's Darkseer.
I don't like it. It's Darkseer into Enchantress. He's gonna get the spell. Like, you won't have Surge, you won't have Ion Shell. So it doesn't sound that great. Also, you're not pressuring Phantom Assassin. She can farm underneath the tower. You will be pushing out the lane, so you're giving free farm to Phantom Assassin, at least in the laning stage. Talking about the Tidehunter, Alliance will pick it up.
They snatch it away. S4 Tide. Everything slots into place as expected. Yeah, we Shadow Fiend, Spectre for Miracle. Nothing fancy on Alliance's side is the Limp Zeus, Nico Baby PA, and S4 on the Tidehunter. Hanskin, Earth Spirit, FNG Enchantress, GH Tiny, and the Kuro Vengeful Spirit. I'm really liking this Alliance draft. A lot of early game magic damage, pressure, aggression, gap close, team fight, and the scaling of Nico Baby's PA. But we've seen what Nigma can do to control areas of the map. They are exceptionally good with saves from the Kuroki swap. But I think very often when I see Tiny in position 4, it comes down to how quickly does he get level 2 and level 3, and how quickly does he get Blink Dagger. If GH is stopped, he's not a hero.
Sure. Alliance's morale must be very high right now, because they just beat Virtus Pro. They had also time to take off, reset, get some food, and now they're playing a best of 3 before the new patch arrives. So I kind of like Alliance's draft, where they have team fight that you mentioned. It's going to be pretty chaotic. They have the spell against the Darkseer that I mentioned. So, like, Zeus also should have a free time if there's tiny rotations early on. It needs to be matched up by the Earth Spirit, so we might see some constant fights between 4 and the 6 minute mark, where both position 4s want to kill the enemy mid laner. A bit worried for Zeus once we get to the mid game, where Spectre wants to take him out first.
That's a good call, though. The fact that Earth Spirit, roaming around, Tiny can kind of match his movements as well. So Nigma do have something there to stop that perpetual rotation into mid, which can cause we a lot of troubles. But away we go, game 1 of this best of 3. Lower bracket here for Dota Pit Season 4. Nigma taking on Alliance. And Nigma taking down the Mud Golems 2-0 earlier on. Alliance 2-1ing Virtus Pro in a spectacular best of 3 earlier on today. And all waiting for them is OG in that grand final. But there's also the Na'Vi match up ahead of them tomorrow just before it. Some pretty difficult games in this Dota Pit. You think there's no secret, there's no liquid, but still some high level Dota 2.
Where are you going?
Oh, GH
high ground
could be, in a bit of trouble. Limp does not want to commit too much mana, but they did some harass damage. 3.8 per second regeneration. Nah, I'm definitely not gonna eat the tango.
And they stop him from warding, I think, as well as the big thing there, right? He's got boots, he's got wards, and Radiant side Tiny, we all know he loves to drag that second wave, get level 2, move across into his ward, which he places on the high ground, and gank into that mid lane. All stopped by that early positioning from Alliance, and they get the Observer Ward themselves to watch for that movement exactly.
Oh, patch actually arrived. I just got a notification from Dota Pit.
No way.
From Dota, sorry. Yeah, new hero.
See you guys.
Good wink. I'm out.
The battle begins.
Catch onto Earth Spirit. Hans is going to drop here pretty quickly. Hanskin's been hoodwinked by Nigma. 3 heroes down here surrounding him.
Wow. And Spectre gets the first blood, so that's gonna be a really good start.
Who got all the bounty runes? S4, MC, Nico Baby, S4. So 3-1, Alliance favored. And how do we set up our lanes then? Venge going to be body blocking that bottom lane, making sure that it is just outside of tower range for the Miracle Spectre. Tide, Earth Spirit down here. SF in the mid lane against the Zeus. And of course PA. And Enchantress moving in onto Mind Control. A little bit of chip damage there onto the Darkseer. As bottom lane, actually, Kuroki might be the one closer to death. Gets himself back. Both teams putting that early pressure on.
Once Tidehunter gets level 2, he'll probably get a Gush, and then Kuroki needs to be very careful. Like, double slow, actually triple slow, from Orb of Venom. Could be very deadly in this lane.
And GH's lane drag back. Gives it to
And
MC.
it gets dispelled.
R.I.P. Feels pretty bad, but still a good amount of damage from GH there onto FNG. Everyone just casting their spells in this laning stage, trying to burst through the regen. Trade as effectively as they can early on. GH getting jumped, in fact. Forced the toss, the vacuum's there. Mind Control's chasing FNG, but the kill is for Nico Baby, finding the Tiny. While Mind Control, he knows that Enchant's still on cooldown for another solid 10 seconds. Try and get as much use out of the Iron Shell as he can, and Hanskin bursts down bottom lane.
Well, Tidehunter just got level 2, didn't skill anything yet. This bottom lane going really well for Nigma so far. 11 CS, Spectre, this is what you want to see. 1 kill, 1 assist, already has that Ring of Tarask, so the harassment is not going to be that great.
Have I missed out on a trick here? I feel like I've not seen Ring of Tarask for several weeks, and now, well, actually, Hanskin jumping Kuro, stun there towards S4, so he can't get the gap close on the Venge. And again, just a bit of back and forth between them.
At the back, I mean, that Ring of Tarask is kind of
GH?
popular once again. GH, I mean, he's fine, but needs to go back to the base again.
He's level 1.
I can just gonna deny himself or stack.
A camp. But you'd really love to have that Tiny level 2, like 3 minutes in. He can't make that rotation into mid, just playing that top lane for an extended period. But yeah, Ring of Tarask, we've seen it on PA, now on the Spectre. Just early lane sustain, I guess.
Darkseer puts pressure, like you need to tank some of that damage coming up from Iron Shell. And Nico Baby drags the creep wave back between
Kuro's
tier 1
dying.
and tier 2 tower.
Hanskin and S4 playing around with the Kuro Venge. One more hit. That Orb of Venom slowed him enough. Gets the Magic Missile forward, but level 2
the
Kraken
Kraken
Shell and
Shell.
the Magic Stick pops. S4's fine. And the Courier dies as well. Miracle loses out on that. Body blocks the roll. Still getting the damage forward with the Venge illusion here. Hanskin with the stick charges. Can they get the takedown? It's a difficult one, but Wand and Dagger. Looks like Miracle should have the finish here. It's holding the stick for the toss of GH to actually secure the kill.
It wouldn't be enough for Dagger, actually. A lane was pushed in, so he decided to actually go for a chase. If lane was underneath his tower, he would probably just farm and ignore that Earth Spirit. And this is the 4th minute rotation I was talking about. Tiny tries to make something happen on the mid lane, while Earth Spirit also TPs to match the rotation of that Tiny.
And Wii loses the 50-50. A regen rune for Limp, and he's already full HP, full mana. No way that Shadow Fiend can trade into that lane now, so a bit of jungling for him as a small little stack. He's built up. GH makes the play onto S4. Avalanche toss for the Magic Missile, but a roll in from Hanskin looking to save the day and actually kick GH back into tower range. No kills. Just pressure.
Pure pressure. Tidehunter, he's more than fine. You know, has that magic stick, Ring of Health, so a lot of regen kicking in. And 2 points in Kraken Shell, just a purely defensive build. Shadow Fiend will pick up a bounty rune, so let's see if it's gonna be 2
Thunder
for
God's
2.
Wrath in the bottom lane. GH escapes. S4's the one in trouble now, but he might get Kuroki on the way out. Hanskin's going to come in, close the gap and take down the Venge. Tidehunter still incredibly tanky. That Anchor Smash making sure that Miracle can't finish the job. Dagger forward. One more hit should do the trick here, but Miracle can't get there. Grab the bounty rune. He wants to kill. He's
Toss.
going for it. The toss forward, but S4's still alive. How has this man survived?
Tower is under attack.
GH got the bounty rune now.
Oh,
Both of
roll
them trying
misses.
to retreat away, and the roll misses. So Miracle's out of there.
Why didn't Limp rotate? Like, he was there. He's on the mid lane. He sees Spectre running at the Tidehunter. Could have
FNG?
easily got the kill.
They got the Centaur Stomp on Mind Control, so Nico Baby just comes in and casually claims a kill on the Darkseer.
This is
7
so
kills,
much
6 minutes in.
investment to try to kill the Tidehunter. And,
Oh, GH. Oh my god, GH. He's died to tower. They tried to Avalanche Toss, but that's a Raindrop Zeus. Requiem does absolutely nothing. Level 2 Necromastery means there's no damage. And now, wait, is we in trouble? There's no Thunder God's Wrath, there's no Bolt. Okay, never mind. We's
no
fine.
bolt, so he can't get the vision on Shadowfiend. We'll just pick up that double damage rune. Also,
This
Limp
feels great for
off to a
Alliance.
very good start. Yeah, 2k gold lead. 6 minutes in.
Top 2 net worth, both 3,000 on the Zeus and the PA, because, like you mentioned, you didn't like the Darkseer. This Enchantress just continually removing the Iron Shell, the Surge, catching out the Darkseer, while Nico Baby free farms in that lane. And Miracle is being really irritated by this Earth Spirit and the Tidehunter. And do you feel like they can just leave S4 down here now?
If they don't rotate 3 heroes, like S4 should not die, but also Tidehunter is getting closer to his level 6, and you want to make a rotation. He's also just 100 gold away from that Meteor Hammer. Wow, that's a really
God.
nice timing. Once he gets that level
Yes.
6, he can combine it with the Meteor Hammer. Earth Spirit needs to, you know, just secure the stun with the Rolling Boulder, and I see Hanskin coming back to the bottom lane.
Straight into action.
Oh,
That's the thing.
SF.
Shadow Fiend's here now. Magic Missile into the Razors. S4, Meteor Hammer. It won't connect on anybody. Forces them to try and dodge away, but S4 will die. They bring that Shadow Fiend bottom.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He was so close to that level 6, just 2 creeps away.
We have an update from production, Lacoste. The patch
What
is
it-
live, and the next game will be on the new patch.
Dire's courier.
All right. Love it. We'll just say the dumbest stuff. No one is gonna know what's happening.
GH, hounded by Alliance. Enchantress there. Good toss back with the Avalanche. Buys a bit of space for the GH Tiny, but mid lane, the roll in.
mid.
Misses on to Wee. Gets the kick, and the zap from Zeus. Taking down that Shadow Fiend now. A double kill for him as he killed off GH as well. Long range nuke damage from the Zeus. And Alliance, they are really starting to run away with this game.
Great start for Alliance. Darkseer needs to make the new lane for himself, so he's just trying to cut the creeps. Also planted a deep observer board here to see any kind of rotations coming out. FNG, man, he's 500 gold away from mech.
On the POS 5 Enchantress?
Yep.
Deary me.
Because
No boots,
he
just straight
can
back.
leave alone Nico Baby on top. Like, maybe just plant a ward to see any kind of rotation and
Combo
continue
mid.
to farm the jungle mid lane. That's a good pickup.
Down goes Hanskin. But now Nigma's jungle is starting to become congested.
Radiant's
Shadow
bottom
Fiend
tower
and
is
Spectre.
under attack.
Both farming jungle because they don't feel like they can show up on lanes. Kuroki gets mid to try and crack level 6. Dire Observer Ward sees that Radiant Triangle, spots the Ancients, sees the Darkseer. Mind Control, again, just being chased back by an Enchantress and a Centaur. S4 has Ravage ready. They've rotated FNG down here, and coming back to your point about kind of rotating into the Tide lane, it used to be in Dota 1, early Dota 2 days that teamfight ulti would be the one that moves. But people have learned very quickly that that hero, if it's not showing on the map, you're scared, you're afraid, you start playing more passively. Whereas if you bring heroes to the lane, you either have to meet it and match it, or just leave it to take your tower.
Yep. Now there's pressure on the bottom tower. GH already used the avalanche, so Tidehunter will drop that
Great
meteor hammer
roll.
probably.
Hansken perfectly angled it forward. Centaur Stomp will secure yet another kill. GH, I knew that a lot of this game would be on how his performance goes in the early game, and it's been a tragic start for him.
I've seen Tiny struggle so much lately. Like 2-3 months ago, it was a like most banned, most picked hero, and now it just feels really weak. Like, if you're not getting anything done at the early stages of the game, you are not gonna have that Blink Dagger.
And yeah, just relying on the surge as they do make a play onto Nico Baby. Avalanche toss with a Spectral Horn. Vacuum back and Nico Baby will fall. Nigma make a swift move into that top lane at long last. But they've lost their bot tier 1. Pressure's coming into mid with a catapult wave as well. Alliance really making sure that they get the most out of this map after losing Nico Baby. Tidehunter's he's coming in here as well. The fear of this Ravage with Meteor Hammer.
Another glyph already popped, but the damage from Meteor Hammer and the catapult will be enough to bring the mid tower. One more hit, and the Limp will get the last hit. GH, they're playing together with the mind control. This is exactly what they needed. Activate this Tiny, because he was struggling, and now he's slowly getting back into the game. 2 big kills. Might get a lane for himself on bottom to try to farm it up.
Ops' Blade Mail has 10 stick charges, but in comes S4. Anchor Smash and Gush with Nico Baby and Hansken here, magnetizing up the Spectre, and Mind Control, well, he arrives a little too late. Can't do anything to remedy the problems that Miracle Spectre's having. And they still hold the key to these teamfights in that S4 Ravage. Objective by objective, they all come tumbling down like dominoes. High ground vision for
Meteor
Nigma.
Hammer once again.
Cancelled by the magic missile. Swap him into the Shadow Fiend Requiem. S4 is tanky with a Ravage onto 3. In comes the rest of Nigma, trying to surge an Iron Shell forward. FNG with a quick little heal, but a swap back into the stun from Kuro. Make sure that Enchantress will die. Alliance now on the retreat, so first Ravage not paying off for them, but they're holding high ground with PA and Earth Spirit, waiting for Nigma to make a misplay. Very patient, though, from Nigma, not breaching that ramp.
Zeus, he's extremely farmed. Top of net worth. I saw Blink Dagger being queued up. I was like, maybe that's not the item that you want to go for. Boots of Travel is more than fine, but getting that Aghanim Scepter could make a whole lot of difference.
That's the first time I've seen it actually straight up kill somebody. Shadow Fiend gets daggered, but Nigma have made their retreat. Non-stop fighting between these two teams, looking for that early edge.
I love to see it. This is the last game on the patch, the last official game of the tournament. Man, the next game is just gonna be a complete mess. It's probably a big patch. I did not get time to check it.
No, we're gonna have, well, I mean, the teams and players as well. We're all gonna have like 15 minutes or something to read the patch notes and try and figure out what's happening. Like we were saying in the previous games, we don't have that tournament mode to stay on this patch and play through. We have to go to live. Your Scepter for Shadow Fiend wants his level 2 Requiem before he really gets that full efficiency out of the item, but a smoke nonetheless from Team Nigma. No mech on Darkseer. No real items outside of that Yules. They're just going to try and brute force this into the mid lane. Limp Zeus very far back.
If they run into Tidehunter, I don't think they're getting the kill. Hood already done, so they're just ignoring him. They will settle with the position 5 kill.
And that is FNG's 3rd death. Hansken with 4, so 7 of the 9 kills here from Nigma on those 2 supports. Limp and Hansken trying to run forward, but again, this breaking of the high ground not too easy until S4 makes the swing in from the left-hand side. Thunder God's Wrath is good, big damage, but the Spectral Horn to turn around, try and catch out the Zeus. Kuroki's chasing forward as well here, surged up against the stun. They're taking down Limp. The Blade Bells popped, and Nico Baby's in. Kuroki's falling quickly, but there's
Ravage
a wall.
in a second.
There's a Ravage now from S4. Catching with the Meteor Hammer and the roll in from Hansken. It's well executed as a double kill for S4's Tide comes through. Alliance, a 1-for-3 trade. Fighting back and forth across these high grounds. Nigma falls straight into the trap as they really want a Zeus.
Alliance will need to protect the Zeus in the next fight. Stay with the Tidehunter around him, possibly Earth Spirit to kick him out of the trouble. because Nigma's plan there was like, we're gonna haunt good positioning from Kuro, manages to get a stun and a swap on a Zeus, and they kill him, but you know, the cost is a bit too great.
Nice cancel on the roll though, and Wee turns it. He knew that GH was there to back him up, and the Tiny body blocking S4. Another 3 seconds for that toss to be available, but they swap him back into the magic missile. And S4, he's isolated here in the middle of 4 of Nigma's heroes. Wee gets a double kill off the back of that, closing in on his BKB.
That's a very big kills. These are very big kills for Shadowfiend. Getting closer to the BKB.
Now Nico,
having
baby.
20 souls, he needs level 12 for some extra damage. Nico, baby. Alright, they're just gonna leave him alone.
Very wisely runs away. Now you've got to get your words in quickly, Lacoste, because these teams, they're not stepping off the gas. And now GH, after what I thought was a pretty disastrous first 7-8 minutes, Blink Dagger's going to be here at about 17 minutes. Not too bad.
Yeah, because this Darkseer kind of empowers him, gives him a free initiation with the Surge, which is maxed out, 6 seconds haste, so looking really good. Zeus just needs 1,000 gold to finish off his Aghanim Scepter, and I think it's go time for Alliance. Nico, baby, will finish off the Battle Fury in a second. We'll continue farming. There's a couple of ancient stacks for him, just waiting there when the Battle Fury is done.
And then you look at Spectre. Radiance queued up, another 1,500 until Relic. So Nigma need a bit more time for Miracle to get to his tipping point in this game. Going to come down to the other 4 to make these fights worth it. And of course use that Haunt, which will be back up in 25 seconds. But then you're playing into Ravage. And like you said, the Aghanims, that Nimbus from Limp Zeus. Oh, Nico, baby. Back into the jungle, clears through those stacks.
Spectre
Alliance.
feels like she's not getting contested too much. Constant, you know, fighting, but only 2 deaths on her. So decides to get the Radiance against the Phantom Assassin, against the Zeus. Like, you jump on top of him, there's going to be a lot of extra damage. And, you know, because Phantom Assassin also went for Battle Fury, so you think you can get away with that, which I kind of agree.
Absolutely. And then potentially the Nether Shawl. Like, Shadowfiend's holding it now, but that could easily swap back to the Spectre with the Radiance and all that magic damage coming through. And Darkseer does have his mech working on a pipe. S4 will have finished his off in just a couple of 100 gold. And Tiny holds out on that mid lane. Alliance looking for something here. They're grouping around with PA farming pretty far forward.
Oh, Fele, drop for Zeus.
Very nice.
Like, he gets the priority. Like, this is his item. Because Enchantress does not really want to keep it. She deals a ton of damage. Fele on the other side as well. Zeus actually...
Oh, mid lane. They toss S4. Yeah, you caught the tide. Good job, boys. S4 is
done.
just straight out of there.
Zeus can TP with the Boots of Travel.
So who's getting the stone? Earth Spirit?
He's
Spirit
getting the
Vessel's
stone.
coming?
Yeah, that's an extra stone actually. So 7 stone remnants and that stone. You should be able to use the stone, whatever
They haunt for this? Alright, Miracle. We kill that Enchantress regardless. Now maybe an opportunity for Alliance though. Get out here, maybe find some D wards. Smoking up towards Miracle, and they know that Haunt is down, so Nigma have to make a snappy decision to come and defend this top tier 1. Miracle's back into the trees. And Limp was holding that Thunder God's Wrath, thinking about popping it for vision.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The Spectre can just go back to farming very casually. Manta style now 700 gold away instead of that Radiance.
Maybe he thinks like, I need to be more tanky right now. Decides to switch up the item build. I still feel he could have gotten away with the Radiance build. was very close to Relic.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, maybe the feeling was that if they fought as a squad
Is under attack.
with that last haunt,
Radiant's
that
top
Yasha would
tower
have
is under attack.
potentially helped him win out in the end. You'll Scepter on the PA, but the Requiem cancelled by the roll from Hansken. We are being blown up. Nico Baby, though, half HP as they do move S4 onto that Tiny and get a good couple of kills in the Radiant Triangle.
And that was a
Roshan
fight
is all controlled up.
Bottom tower is under
without
attack.
a Ravage, so they can still maybe try to go for a Ravage. What does Enchantress have? Not an Alpha Wolf, just a casual range creep with some extra damage. So even if Nigma wants to take this fight, they know Haunt is on cooldown. They still have Ravage, so it's also Shadowfin who comes back to the game without any kind of souls, like just 10 souls, which is not enough, and he also wants to farm the BKB.
Yeah, he needs that BKB really badly. And we had that conversation about Shadow Fiend and his item build. You need Yule's BKB, the Blink Dagger. He's trying to keep these brown boots here for the maybe a boots of travel later on. But everything has to click into place. Still a lot of room for Miracle. Growing and growing. Still only 2 deaths on him. But with PA holding Aegis now, and BKB very nearly done for Nico Baby, you've got to be afraid, as Team Nigma, about what this Phantom Assassin can do to you. Everybody's a target.
I think Nico kind of feels bad right now because he invested into Ogre Axe instead of a Mithril Hammer. Like, usually when this happens, you buy this Desolator, since you have Aegis.
Yeah, just go aggression.
But you already invested into Ogre Axe, so just getting a BKB is much more valuable.
Well, Alliance need to maintain their lanes. Every time they make a big move like that into Roche Pit or into that triangle, you know that 2 out of your 3 lanes are going to get pushed across the river. They do that with a Tide, the PA on the side lanes, and then they smoke out from mid, trying to play down south into S4. Mind Control's down here hiding in the trees, but there's no one else from Nigma around. And GH is up top, getting himself a good amount of farm. And then the Venger's mid, waiting for that Spectre to get jumped on, holding the swap as that save ability.
FNG smoked, placing a deep ward inside the base, which is going to give them real vision, or when they decide to smoke, Tidehunter putting some pressure on a tier 2 tower on bottom with the Meteor Hammer.
And trying to catch Hansken, but Miracle may have misstepped. Pops his Blade Mail and whacks Nico Baby. The rest of Alliance not really in position to contest it. S4 still has Pipe, Ravage, ready to go. But you see the bottom lane, they kind of wanted to collapse on that tier 2, and Mind Control, the fact he's playing in these trees, hiding away in the fog for the past like 3 minutes, he cuts a couple of waves, and that entire plan down. But Miracle gets jumped, kicked back in, onto S4 with a Ravage and the Nimbus. Nico Baby, he's looking to slay Miracle, and the Spectre is about to die. Dead for 50 seconds, and this is a massive opening for Alliance now for tier 2s.
Alliance held him inside that Nimbus for a very long time, and this opens up the tier 2 tower and also an outpost. I just read the patch notes. We are getting the shrines, the 5 shrines in base back.
Really?
I'm just kidding. That was one of the dumbest stuff we ever had in Dota.
Nearly had a heart attack. Please don't say things like that, Mr. Lacoste. That hurt my little baby feelings.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Well, mid tier 2 down. Alliance spreading wide across the map again. Nigma still doing pretty well to hold on, though. Wee has his BKB Yules. 20 souls stacked up. And when Spectre respawns, that Haunt is ready. A team fight here from Nigma is really scary around this Mind Control Darkseer too. Yeah, in the laning phase, kind of halted by the Enchantress. But now, looking at him with this vacuum wall against the PA. Able to disrupt the teamfight initiation of the Tide and the Earth Spirit.
Zeus says, you want to go on me? I'll get myself
Miracle.
a BKB.
Dead again mid lane, no, he haunts, tries to jump off to Hansken. Now another jaunt towards S4, he's TPing out.
Where's he at?
Trying to move away somewhere, Miracle dodging, juking, he's diving away. He survives, the Spectre barely stays alive while Limp is nearly found by GH. In comes the PA though and cleaves him in twain, rock turned to pebbles. They've got a Yules up on Hansken too. We and Kuro find the takedown on Earth Spirit, but the big thing there is Miracle survives.
Yeah, Miracle had a nice dodge. If Earth Spirit stun connects, I feel, you know, they still are gonna get a kill on him. Nico baby, just the 20 seconds left on that Roche career delivering Desolator.
That is a big PA right now.
PA might jump.
They do. Kuroki magic missile stuns Nico baby. Aegis is about to be reclaimed. 3 seconds remain. And now the Yules with Requiem onto S4. It's a bit of damage, but nowhere near enough to finish him off. Nico baby Phantom strikes back away from the base. Chases on towards the Tide. The Ravage is forced defensively now as Alliance do back away. There's no haunt, but Miracle surged up. Hansken's rolling forward, looking for a turnaround here with the Blink Avalanche toss, catching 2 of them. Nice roll in, the Magnetize from Hansken, silencing the Tiny, but they've already lost their Tide Hunter, and Zeus, he's arriving sure, but Hansken's already died.
Okay, it's time to back off. I thought Zeus was gonna pop that haste rune in the bottle, come to the fight. They overextended a bit, where that Aegis just ran out when Phantom Assassin was on like 30% HP.
It's a real tightrope act for them to walk across. Now 2 minutes until Roshan, while Limp hasted still. TP's home. GH tries the Avalanche, but not successful with it.
GH really recovered, considering how bad of a laning stage he had. Couple of deaths, and this hero relies on snowballing, getting the kills. Now he got that Yule Scepter. I mean, Philosopher's Stone really helped out. Eon Disc, queued up by GH. Okay, it could be a bit tricky. You know, you're playing into Zeus, so Nimbus and Ulti can proc it. This is not what you want.
Haunt is ready in just under 10 seconds. Radiant scan. Would you believe it? Enchantress yet again, that same spot. Bit of deja vu, but FNG's back behind his tier 2. No Ravage here for Alliance, and Nigma draw the long line across the board. High ground being held by Alliance. Little Kobold there coming to scout them out, and they catch S4. Avalanche toss, doesn't give a damn about that, but the Enchantress will. Big damage from the Spectre as they do boulder smash into her, but Alliance tentative about joining this fight really without a Ravage. Now the BKB from Shadow Fiend, forcing the BKB in turn from the Phantom Assassin, jumping onto mind control, but a good swap out. Kuroki gives his life.
Alliance once more.
All of his cause to escape, but they can't find it, can they?
They know, like, there's a bunch of illusions. It's better not to chase. Peel already used the BKB, couldn't get one more hit on Shadow Fiend. Next Roche may respawn in 30 seconds, so this is where the fight is gonna be. Ravage is up again. Alliance still smoked. Oh, if Spectre shows.
Is Miracle going to dagger that creep wave? Well, S4 used a Meteor Hammer just behind her, so I think not. Yeah, Miracle pinging out there. The rest of Alliance are behind me, guys. I don't want to play up in this top lane, while mid lane, GH makes the jump on FNG. Not quite enough damage to burst through him, in fact. Didn't even need to use the mech there, and now we move forward, roll in on mind control, Nimbus down, good damage, but MC's tanky as all hell. Pop the pipe, has mech in 4 seconds, but I don't think he'll survive long enough to get it off.
Now we can see how tanky Darkseer is. They also need to deal against these illusions from Vol. Zeus needs to take care of that, or Phantom Assassin. Zeus heavily committing. He's getting Shiva's Guard. That's going to help him out with like even more vision and you know, to slow down those illusions. And the extra armor against Spectre is going to be very helpful.
Yeah, Wee making one himself as he pushes out that bottom lane quite aggressively. Yeah, won't be found though.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
How long for Roshan? just under a minute. Hanskin role-playing as a statue in the side of the pit. A double damage rune has spawned.
Radiant's courier.
That's going to be in time for Roshan as well.
Zeus needs to bring that bottle for Phantom Assassin.
Hands it over to Nico, baby. You're absolutely right. So now Alliance, they hold that DD for the next fight, and Nico Baby still hiding in the blur, so
He does not want to reveal it, yeah.
Nigma have no idea about it. Alliance also smoking in behind them. S4 Tide leading the way. Miracle's Spectre, the only hero showing right now as Nigma, are up those ramps, holding high ground, biding their time, waiting for Alliance to make the first move. We has BKB. GH has that Yules. And we've got Greaves' Pipe on mind control, so this fight is not easy by any means for Alliance. Both teams have great ways of disrupting the fight.
See his items, Guardian, Greaves, Pipe of Insight. These are only 2 items, but they're very costly, and how much damage they can mitigate with that is just insane.
It is a very good build.
Great
He's still
build.
holding his bottle. Roshan's alive.
Full
Dark Seer's
Scotty on
curious,
Phantom
is it?
Assassin. So that's gonna help out quite a lot against the Shadow Fiend.
Radiant's courier.
Like just to extra slow him down.
They saw that Roshan was started. And Nigma will know. Yule Scepter on the PA to spell the DD, but GH is going to give his life away for it. Buyback available on your Tiny. Alliance straight into the pit once again. And there's GH's buyback. They're toying with the idea of fighting in a swap
onto
there,
FNG.
catching FNG. The Nimbus is down, but Kuroki's blown up. PA finds it, the 3-man back into the wall. It creates some good illusions, but mind control. Another Yules from GH, catching the Phantom Assassin so Nico Baby can't give chase.
It's time to
Nigma,
go
though,
back
have
to
been
the
zoned
Roach
out
pit.
of Roshan.
Nico
Yeah,
Baby
you're right.
is still chasing, but yeah, they know there's no Venge for 30 seconds.
Are scanning.
Maybe if they could die back to Tiny. That's what Nico Baby wants, and he might find it, you know. Look at GH. GH. Oh, he's jumped upon. Blown up. 1300 crit. Nico Baby shuts the door on the Tiny. Dead for 70 seconds. And Miracle in the mid lane. He's fine. So run away. PA
Nico
doesn't
Baby
want
wants
to walk
to
through
jump
the wall.
over the wall. Yeah. Nico Baby can sign up for Olympics.
Gets himself straight over. So now we've got Aegis and Cheese for Alliance. A 13k net worth lead. Another smoke from Nigma though. Haunt yet again already here for Spectre. It just doesn't feel like Nigma can fight head on to this unless they have that tactical advantage.
Radiant's bottom
Use the
tower is
terrain
under attack.
that the map gives you.
Wow, I was not keeping attention to how far ahead Alliance is. Suddenly it's a 16k
Radiant's
gold
bottom
lead.
tower has fallen.
I
should-
burst out of nowhere.
I need to do a better job, Garrett.
Stop reading patch notes, Lacoste.
I have not read anything yet.
Me neither, and I'm really anxious about it. And Kuroki also anxious. Destroyed by the Nimbus and the jump from Nico Baby. Dead for 40 seconds with no buyback now, so a 5 versus 4. Dagger kills the illusion. Shadow Fiend back into wall from mind control. Nico Baby just makes the jump in though. A little bit isolated. S4 needs to walk himself forward or back. I was thinking maybe they go for the Ravage play there. But this PA dealing with these wall illusions very easily. And they can keep on going. There's no reason to stop right now. Phantom Assassin walks back up to high ground. Tier 3 crumbles. We trying to get some razors in there onto the Phantom Assassin before the fight kicks off, but they are pinging out that Shadow Fiend. They know he's around. Nico Baby drops pretty low, but the Nimbus, before BKB, they get the damage onto him, so the swap
the
required from Kuroki does save him out there as Nico Baby vacuum back, but the Ravage is there again, keeping PA alive. Nico Baby still up with the Aegis and holds
How
the
is he
BKB.
still alive?
Dive in, the roll forward, Hanskin fires the jump on Spectre, but GH tosses him back into the fountain. Miracle's alive, the Aegis now is reclaimed.
Now it's time to back off. Like they might be able to toss him back once again. Oh, GH, like he is the target. Nico Baby has BKB if needed.
And there's the crit, comes in. The toss did nothing. GH will self-yours with the avalanche there, and Miracle tries to fight, but the cheese is passed over. Nico Baby now has the second life, and he's taken out Tiny. Mind control with the help of the Haunt, moving in towards the PA, but the rolls out, and the Phantom Strike might just be enough to get Alliance out of here until Limp arrives. They want to keep on battling. On this high ground, they've got the pressure, and Nico Baby's BKB towards Miracle. They grieves him up, but the Spectre's fallen. Dead for 70 seconds, and Nico with a triple kill means Alliance yet again in full control.
Phantom Assassin still full HP, full mana because of that cheese. It's time to keep pressuring. The Solar Crest keeping her alive, and they have nothing that pierces through evasion. Nico Baby picked up plus 35% blur evasion. So that's 85.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So
I can't touch this PA.
1 or 2 out of the 10
Swap
hits
into
actually
Requiem.
connects. It's not enough damage. She's too tanky with Scotty.
Nico Baby just turns and says, yeah, what up, bruh? I'm gonna come straight for you. Shadow Fiend on the run, back into Fountain as they also roll in onto Tiny. 4 heroes dead. Alliance with a 24,000 net worth lead here in Game 1, trying to close it out before that patch for Game 2.
Yeah, before the game crashes, they're like, you know, it might happen. We need to go all in, just start hitting tier 4 towers. Tiny is out in 30 seconds because of that buyback, so they can, you know, not care too much about them being in the Fountain. Good whack wall.
It is good, but he'll fall. Mind control's being annihilated by Nico Baby. It's a slaughter fest as the Phantom Assassin clears up target after target, but Diffusal Blade slow. Good damage from Miracle, and the Nimbus might delay the inevitable death here. As Nico Baby still hounded out of the base, but he's got the backup plans, FNG and S4 buying time and space until the swap. Now a BKB from Nico Baby, forcing a
He
use
needs to
from
get
Shadow
out.
Fiend, but he just keeps Phantom striking out. Lacoste, they can't catch this man. Tiny with the avalanche, and now a toss, the vacuum's good. Magic Missile stun, Nico Baby finally dies. FNG will follow into the grave with a toss forward. Nigma not giving up, keep on fighting. S4, he's running out of here, and he's running out of space and time. That Ravage, he doesn't want to use it, but the Spider Legs, he'll get himself over the cliffs. Not far enough away, though, as GA just closed the gap on him, and the chain stuns are there. S4 gives a triple kill to Wii.
They, I would
Meanwhile,
say,
your base, there's like 5 catapults in your base hitting the throne.
they can stop it. Like Miracle with the illusions, whack is gonna stop it instantly. Tier 4 towers are gone. Sadly, Nigma cannot get anything out of this. There's no Roshan. We'll spawn in what, 3 minutes, maybe more. So Nico Baby decides to get full Abyssal Blade. Has Satanic queued up, just needs 1 CS to level 25. But, you know, Nigma got some real big chunk of gold in that fight. Shadowfiend got like 3-4 levels and now getting closer to E-Blade. It's still a very tough game for them to make a comeback. Like, you don't have that hero that buys a Divine Rapier. It's not a Phantom Assassin, it's not Medusa. Spectre really not a candidate for it.
Yeah, Spectre just needs to keep tanking up. Skadi, very, very close for Miracle. But we've also got to start contending with the buyback statuses here of Nigma, right? Looking pretty dire for them. No Tiny, no Darkseer, no Shadow Fiend. And Spectre is 1,000 gold away.
Under attack.
Darkseer with the Havoc Hammer. You can push people into Wall of Replica, which is a nice interaction.
Yeah, keep those PA illusions going. Here comes Alliance. Again, smoking up behind that brawny S4 Tidehunter. Another 2 minutes at least for Roshan. So not really the objective that they want to wait for. The throne is open. Glyph is ready here for Team Nigma. But any kill pretty much amounts. And the game coming to an end. Miracle shows. 1 buyback on the Vengeful Spirit. That's the only one they have right now. Kuroki, he's got that mouse cursor over Miracle, ready with a swap. Thunder God's
they
Wrath
get
used for
the
vision,
jump
and they
on
get the
Tiny.
GH, Ghost Scepter, Self-Yules, Ravage comes,
Big
they're
Ravage.
focusing Miracle down as well. Tiny blinks away, so he's saved today, but it's the 5-man back wall, back in there. The trouble being, Miracle's died and they miss swap. Kuroki doesn't get the save onto Miracle, and they've lost 3 heroes, that's it.
That's it.
Game is over, Alliance take game 1.
Man, Alliance looking real hot today. They managed to beat Virtus.pro. Now they have 1-0 lead against Nigma. Next games will be played on a new patch, so we have to, see what happens. Are there big changes? Probably they are, considering how long we waited for it. And the players, they also need to, check out what's happening, take a bit of time and see what they're gonna pick. But it's gonna be chaotic. I love it.
Hell yeah, we can't even look at endgame stats. The game server is attempting to send match results back, so we're going to probably take a quick little break here, Lacoste, to read the patch notes, because we've got a patch coming up for Game 2 in its best of 3. Nigma taking on Alliance after this break.